Namaste, my fellow strikers. Holy Materia here, back with another Shinobi Striker video. Okay, so today we're going to be talking all about balance. So let's get right into it.
I can't do it, but I came through it like I can't sing. So auto tune it, I might lose it, but I'll get through it like I can't sing. So auto tune it, ayy.
For any competitive game, there's always going to be balancing issues, and that's something that developers always struggle with and try to keep up with on their games, how to balance things, especially when there's new moves that come into the game, or if they find, or somebody finds a way to utilize a move that's already in the game and it kind of like breaks the game, which is something that happens frequently in Shinobi Striker. So lately there's been some sort of weird balancing things that the developers have done, like the new blast bomb change where it misses people if you throw it from up close, and they also recently nerfed like the shadow stitching and maybe lightning net. I'm not sure. Somebody said that they recently nerfed lightning net, but I didn't see that in the patch notes. But yeah, if they might have done that too, because they just buffed all of those ninja tools. So what's the big thing about this game? Like why are there so many balancing issues all the time, and how could they best balance the game overall? I think instead of focusing on each of these little things, because even though they nerfed the blast bombs, defense types are still going to be OP. Like there's all kinds of different things they can do to be OP. There needs to be fundamental changes if they really want to balance the way the game is. So let's look at these two different types of players in the game. So we have the creative character, the CACs or CAC characters, and we have the cast characters. If you look at it, the cast characters are way more balanced than the CACs. That's evident by when you see somebody using their CAC in the hero mode. People consider it cheating because the CACs are so much more powerful than the cast characters. So let's look at why that is. Even within the cast characters, there's some balancing issues, but overall they're much more balanced than the CACs can be. So why are the cast characters so much more balanced? So let's look at that. If you look at most of the ninjutsu of the cast characters, there are exceptions of course, but most of them have a move that's offensive, and they have a move that's like a sort of some kind of utility that gives them some kind of utility, like maybe some kind of buff or a way to defend themselves or a way to heal their teammates, depending on which class it is. So let's take Kakashi for an example. Even DMS Kakashi, or even double Sharingan Kakashi, but also the original Kakashi. So we look at his moveset. He has Sharingan and he has Lightning Blade, and then the DMS Kakashi, or the double Sharingan Kakashi, he has Kamui Ban, and he has the Kamui Lightning Blade. So he has one move that's good for attacking, and then another move that is just something that's this utility kind of move. So something that helps him in some way. So if we look at the attack types, a lot of them have some kind of move that gives them some kind of better movement. We have Flying Raijin level 1, and then we have Sharingan, or we just have moves that provide some kind of utility, like for example B's move that counters attacks, things like that. So if you look at a move that's meta right now, like Octopus Hug, it's broken not because, if you look at it on Killer B, that character isn't broken because he has Octopus Hug, but he doesn't have a damaging move to go with it. So without that other move, so Octopus Hug would count in one of the offensive abilities, and then the other move would be a utility move. So the reason B is not broken is because his other move doesn't do damage to go along with his Octopus Hug. But with the CAC, since we can combine anything together, there's all kinds of ways to create these broken sort of builds that just kind of make the game not what it was really meant to be. So this was something that I noticed when the first time that hero mode came out, and it felt like a whole different game, because not just because we couldn't use our CACs, but just because the game just felt different because it was so balanced. It was kind of like, oh, this is what they sort of intended when they made the game. Like the way things flowed, the how much heals you could receive, how much what you could do on like a base battle, stuff like that. It felt so different playing on hero mode than it does when you're playing with your cax, because it's so much more balanced. So for example, something that happens a lot that makes the cax unbalanced is that people will combine two offensive abilities. So they'll have like Octopus Hug and Leaf Rising Wind. Well, if you put those two things together, then it's super broken, because that just does way more damage than anything than what was intended when they made the game, when they made those characters and their moves. That's why B doesn't have another move that does damage to go along with his Octopus Hug. And then so a lot of times attack and range types with their CACs, people will put two offensive moves, so they're so much more powerful than they would be if they had just an offensive move and then a utility move. And then what happens with defense types on things like base battle and even in survival mode, back when the rules were different and surviving was so important, defense types will often use two utility moves. So like if you look at defense types, the cast characters, you have somebody like Gaara. He has Sand Shield, but then he has a move that's more about damage. Even though defense types moves aren't really supposed to be mainly about damage, they still have utility and like more offensive moves. So Gaara has Sand Shield and he has Sand Shower, which would be his offensive move. But people in base battle will do stuff like have Petrify and Sand Shield together, or they'll have like Nido Jizo and Petrify. So like they have two utility moves working together, and it's like, how can you stop somebody? How can you get that base back from somebody who has two of those moves like that? There's a reason that Jiraiya has Nido Jizo and then an offensive move to go along with it, because it would be broken if he had two utility moves. So that's the biggest reason why the game is unbalanced, is because people can combine the jutsu any way they want, and they can put two offensive abilities, or they can put two utility abilities. Like the biggest thing that changes in Ninja World Hero mode is the healers. So if you look at every cast character, there's no cast character that has more than one way to heal people, besides unless you include their ultimates. But when it comes to just their ninjutsu and ninja tools, either they have a ninjutsu that heals, and then they have some kind of offensive ninja tool, or they have no ninjutsu that heal, and then they have the healing tag ninja tool. Nobody has two heals for their jutsu. And even then, like, you look at the people that do, like Sakura, for example, she can heal with her ult and with her ninjutsu. So that's why she's kind of OP in hero mode. You see people pick her quite often. And then even like Tsunade has the healing tag, and her ultimate also heals people, and she's probably one of the highest picked healers. So something that's super broken in when you're playing normal is that the people run CACs with 3 different heals. So they'll have 2 ninjutsu heals and the healing tag. Sometimes they even have 4 heals. Sometimes they'll even run a healing jutsu, like running slugs with Palm Sage and cellular extraction and the healing tag. So a lot of times you'll see matches between like good players, between high level players that go 7 minutes, but you rarely see a 7-minute match in Ninja World Hero mode, because nobody's getting healed like that. The game flows in such a different way because of the way it's balanced with the cast characters. So I think that's probably the best way to actually balance the game. So when you make your CAC, you have a slot for an offensive ability, and you have a slot for a utility ability, and so that would be the way that they could actually make the CACs balance. Now, I'm not even going to say that is something that they should do, but I think that would make the game much more balanced than it is right now. But the thing is that one of the things that makes this game so much fun is all the possibilities that we have for the created characters. Like that's one of the main things that makes the game so much fun. So it's like, do we want balance, or do we want more freedom? Do we want to be able to do whatever we want and have to have people running broken builds most of the time, or do we want them to limit the way we can put our builds together, but have a more balanced game and sort of even like a more fair game for everyone, because especially for new players that don't really know the meta and stuff, like they just get wrecked by people who know how to put together these builds that are just so OP. I can't imagine that it's very much fun for new players to come in and just get one-shotted by all these broken builds that there are. But yeah, so if they did this by setting up the jutsu in this way, it would take away a lot of these broken builds would just be unusable. And then they could stop doing crazy stuff like making blast bombs miss you when you're right next to somebody, which is just kind of silly. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think about this, and let me know what you guys think about the jutsu that I have listed under the offensive abilities and the utility abilities, because some of these are debatable, like especially with the moves that aren't on any of the cast characters. It's kind of hard to say, like, should that be a utility move, or is that more of an offensive ability? But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and let me know what you guys think about the whole idea of having these different ninjutsu slots, and even incorporating the ninja tools into that also, maybe. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about that, if you think that might be a good idea, or if you think it would make the game less fun, or yeah, just let me know what you guys think. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Everybody stay safe out there. Peace and love.